Okay, hello and welcome to today's session in the MSDynamicsWorld.com Spring 2015 CRM webcast series. I'm Jason Gumpert, and we're joined today by Rick McCutcheon for a session on building a CRM culture. Rick's a returning speaker for us and a longtime supporter of the site. We're really glad to have him back. I'd also like to briefly recognize our event series sponsors and thank them for their support of the site. They are Marketo, PowerObjects, and Scribe. So as we get started, I want to just add that we do invite you to add your feedback and ask questions today during Rick's presentation. Please use the Q&A block or the chat that you should see to the right side of the webcast window to ask your questions and provide feedback. So with that, I will turn it over to our speaker, Rick McCutcheon. Rick.
Thank you, Jason. Can you hear me okay?
We can.
Okay, fantastic. Welcome, everybody. Good afternoon, good morning, or possibly good evening, depending on where you're located around the globe. But thank you very much for attending this presentation today. I'm Rick McCutcheon. I'm a Dynamics CRM MVP, and we'll be presenting today on building the culture of CRM. Let me just shut off a window here. That's fantastic. So let's kind of get going right away into our session. Now, my background is I've been in the CRM business for quite a long time. I've worked primarily with the Dynamics CRM product, and I'm also a certified sales professional through the Canadian Professional Sales Association. I work out of Toronto, and I have a long background in CRM and building CRM organizations. A lot of experience over the years working with companies that have been very successful with CRM and working with companies that have been less than successful with CRM. And through my work, I've kind of put this session together to talk about, it used to be called CRM user adoption, and I said, you know what, it's more than user adoption. These companies that really get it are building a culture of CRM. And I'm going to talk more and more about this culture as we go through this presentation today. I always start my presentations out with what I call the Promise of CRM. So CRM is the business philosophy. It lets you know your customers, prospects, and partners better, share information more thoroughly, and interact more completely. This is achieved by creating a system that integrates people, process, and CRM, and I'm going to add to that related technologies. And one of the key things that companies that do well with
Hey, Rick, I think we might have lost your audio. You still there?
We lost our audio there. So Nucleus Research says we can gain $5.60 for every dollar spent invested in CRM, which makes CRM a no-brainer, according to the study. And we're going to increase the ROI as more vendors become social, have marketing, have analytics, and we improve the way we use CRM through mobility. So it's pretty much all upside, and I think we've kind of all agreed on that. So let's start to look at some of these other things that impact what we're doing with CRM. When we look at CRM, and from my perspective and my business, I'm a Salesforce automation guy. The name of my company is Full Contact Selling. So most of the thing, everything I do is Salesforce automation, marketing automation related. But with the power of CRM, with the power of what we call our XRM application or platform within Dynamics, we're reaching out to anybody who's customer facing, any customer partner, channel partner, so on and so forth that touches us, we pull it together. So other categories that have become more important to us is customer service. Partner relationship management is one of the fastest growing areas of CRM, where more and more companies are looking at their vendor management, their distribution channel partner management, and they want to bring that into CRM as well. So I'm doing a lot of work and a lot of educational work in this area right now. We're lucky that most of the people on this call today are either Microsoft partners or Microsoft customers. We've chosen the XRM application. And I'm seeing companies doing unbelievable things with Dynamics CRM. And when I look at it, I can hardly recognize it because they're customizing it really to fit their business. So the companies that are embracing this are building a culture of CRM. And we're really, where I really felt this was my work I do with the User Group Association. We have an annual conference we call the CRM UG Summit, and I hope the people on this call today will be able to join us there this year. We had probably 800 end user customers last year. We'll probably have well over 1,000 this year. And I facilitated 2 panel discussions. One panel discussion was user adoption from SMB side of things, and another one panel discussion was user adoption from the enterprise. And I had 5 end user customers who do CRM right, talking to about 30 to 40 people about how to build that culture, how to improve user adoption, how to get it to work in their organization. And it really kind of showed me, and it became evident that there's one side of the table of people that are doing this, not getting anywhere, and there's another side of the table of people that are doing it and they're getting someplace. And it's the ones that embrace this as a technology that's going to let them interface with their customers, with their information, and with their partners. So in Microsoft, we're lucky. The stack is kind of becoming complete right now. We have Dynamics CRM as our core component. We have a very powerful mobility platform, also supported by several what we call ISVs, independent software vendors, who are building on this platform. Microsoft has recently acquired a company for marketing and have embedded that into what we call Microsoft Dynamics Marketing, which is really an enterprise type solution for managing that whole back-end marketing planning and ERP all the way through to your direct marketing campaign. This is interesting. If you haven't looked at this, we've got social engagement tools now that integrate with Dynamics CRM, so we can go out and listen to what our customers are saying, what our channel partners are saying, what people are saying about us, our brands, our products, and bring it back in and start to measure that information and use CRM as the back end. We're also seeing what we call social insights within CRM that allow us to start to track the companies we do business and track news and happenings across the web with what they're doing. And we're coming out with all kinds of Power BI, along with another product called Parature, which is really a customer knowledge management application for improved customer service care. So from a Microsoft perspective, we have all the tools now. We need to do it. How do we do it well? So let's start to talk about really how we take it from a point of getting started and getting things done to really starting to escalate the CRM project and the products we use, and kind of taking it to the next level. For those who haven't really explored our ISV network, there's dozens of companies now that are building applications that sit on top of CRM, right, and help us do our job better. A couple of the products that I think really help us to the culture side of things is, things like CRM Gamified that you see up there on the screen, which actually puts a series of games on top of Dynamics CRM. So our sales team or customer service team actually competes with each other for points on, how much data they're putting into the system, how many cases they're closing, how many leads they're following up on, all that type of stuff. So there's applications out there that are adding to the user adoption and credibility. And then we see other things like Gembill for HR management, IPM Global for construction companies, eSign Live for e-signatures, Experlogics for configuring proposals and that sort of thing. ADX Studios, which is at the bottom of the page, which has a whole series of portal products, including one for partner relationship management. So we're just seeing a lot of applications starting to sprout out too that are giving us the tools. So what I'm trying to say there, the tools are there, the product's there, the market's there. We just have to start to do certain things to get our culture to work and get our system to work and get our people to support it. So here are some of the things that we took away from the user adoption panel and some of the suggestions that people who are end users made. The number one thing we talked about is CRM is forever, but we have to evangelize it. So in order for CRM to grow within your company, The attitude around it needs to be that the CRM project's not going to go from June of this year to February of next year. It'll be completed. It's going to start in June. Phase 1 will be completed by February, but we're going to click right into phase 2 because CRM is going to empower our business, and we need to get behind it. Another key thing is evangelize, but the project ownership needs to come from the line of business. So it's okay for the IT department to start this project, get it going, and we're always going to need IT to support it, but the business side, the VP of sales, VP of marketing, VP of customer service really need to take ownership of it and make it part of the culture, right? Part of what we do, how we do business, how we access information, how we communicate between each other. Another important thing. So plus the line of business manages the ongoing administration of CRM. So because all these departments are going to start using it, it's going to be a really active application that's going to be changing from day to day. Really, that again needs to be owned from the line of business. Number 4, people need to understand business processes that need to be enhanced. I'm going to talk a little bit about that more in my next part of this presentation, but in order to get user adoption, it really has to fit the business processes and make people's jobs easier for them. Again, we're lucky with Dynamic CRM because it has probably the most powerful workflow engine of all the CRM systems on the market today. So we can really make Dynamic CRM move information across our business, pull information in from our website, push information out to our partners. It can do a lot of good. Another thing that they said from the user group is start your project small, but keep it growing. That goes back to our CRMs forever. Let's do a piece, but you got to keep it going all the time. Spend time on design and POCs. Leverage good ISV partners as well as consulting partners, channel partners to really help you do it right. And keep your focus on good data, good training, and good coaching throughout the process. So in that ownership of it, make sure that people get the data they need, make sure they get the training they need, make sure they get the coaching that they need. And the last piece is really what I'm going to focus on next is you need great CRM leadership. So this whole building of the culture of CRM, it really needs to come from the top of an organization who has to see it. So if you're not getting the buy-in today from senior management, that's going to slow down your projects. That may make them less successful. So I'm going to talk a little bit about in the next part here how we really start to talk to the different business unit owners about CRM and what it means to them. So who do we talk to about CRM? Well, we talk to C-level management, CEOs, CIOs, and CMOs. To them, CRM has huge value, and I'll get into that in a minute. And if they start to see CRM through those lenses, it's going to change the way they think about it. Of course, traditionally, sales management and sales teams pretty much has always seen the value in CRM. More on the management side, sometimes less on the team side. It's funny, we did a session at Convergence 3 or 4 years ago, and we had like 75 customers in a room on user adoption, and I started off quickly saying, how many here have problems with user adoption and customer service? A couple of hands went up. How many here have problems in their marketing department? A couple of hands went up. How many here have problems with their sales team? Everybody's hand went up, right? So, and it's kind of funny, and we laugh about it, but it's still a problem. And what I tell organizations is every sales rep's already got a CRM system. They already have a follow-up system. If you're going to build one, it better be better than the one they have. So, you got to make sure you spend right time on the right design and give them the right data, but we'll go into that later. Marketing teams have big value. Customer service teams. We're seeing huge growth in field service management teams. Again, people who are customer-centric, people who are customer-facing, people who may be asked to drive revenue in the future. Our technicians are not just out there anymore fixing things. They're out there fixing things and trying to sell a warranty, doing some upgrades, all that type of stuff. So again, they're being brought in the CRM world ecosystem, along with IT teams, both on support and development side. So really, when we're talking to these executives, we have to learn to kind of talk their language and get them to understand what's in it for them to evangelize CRM and get behind us. So let's talk about selling to C-level decision makers, right? If I'm selling CRM to them, getting them to use it, they're paid to improve business results, right? So we really got to make sure that when we talk to them, we talk about how CRM is going to impact the business. They deal with changing priorities all the time, and maybe the feedback we get on the competition, what we're seeing through inside view that could be delivered to them about our best customers has huge importance. So maybe we talk about that. They're extremely busy people, so I think, we have to show them how easy it is to be able to access the business of what's going on in the future of your organization, through the different reporting mechanisms or dashboards we can offer them. And really, when we're dealing with them, they're dealing with the big picture. So what's in it for them from the ROI of the company? Can we improve sales results? Can we improve marketing results? Can we reduce customer service costs? Can we make customer service an income center instead of a cost center, right? So think big, and when we talk to these people, that's what they want to hear. They want to hear about how CRM can really help them change the way business happens. A couple of other points is growth of profitability. How can we secure our data, right? So if we've got data all over an organization, it's not in one place, it's not secure. Our salespeople are running around with spreadsheets full of our customer information. I'm looking at a system the other day, and the sales team's running around with all the customer contracts on Excel spreadsheets, and I'm thinking, wow. Off they go to a competitor, and off they go with all your customers, all the names, all the products they own, and when the contracts are due for renewal. I mean, wow, that's a lot of information to have on a spreadsheet. So when you talk about them, you talk about how we can secure things, how can we monitor competitive threats, how it's going to give them operational efficiencies, how CRM will help with company valuation, right? The data within a CRM system is probably worth millions of dollars to many organizations, and I'm going to talk about that a little later. We can also talk, when we talk to them, it's really about not what CRM can do, but what's the ROI. What are the area of improvements we can work on? Because really, they need to bring things back to their board of directors to say, okay, we're doing CRM because of this, for these reasons, and we're going to improve these areas. When we're talking to the marketing people, they have a whole different area of challenges. And what I find personally, though, the marketing people are way behind CRM. They think it should have happened a long time ago. And in fact, I personally believe that the growth in the CRM market today is really due to social marketing, right? Digital marketing, all the emails going out, all the incoming information, our SEOs on our search engines that are pulling in leads and contacts into our website. We need a place to put this information. We say if someone comes to our website 5 times, they have a more likely ability to buy from us, right? Well, if we're not tracking that, we don't know it's 5 times. So we need CRM on the back end. So mostly I find the marketing people are our biggest evangelists. But what do they like to talk about? The impact of social media, how they could have one-to-one marketing, their campaigns, their loyalty, their segmentation, their brand presence, how it helps them with their budget and planning, how it helps them with hiring and training people. So there's a whole bunch of things in here for the marketing team that CRM can help them with. From a customer service team, their whole world is changing. Like customer service just used to be, we'll get back to you within 24 hours. And that's not what it's all about. It's all about real time now. So they understand they need CRM hooked to our social sites, hooked back to our sales organizations to give us what they need. So again, management teams within customer service, talk to them about, hey, we can help you with that loyalty. We can help you with 24-hour customer support, and we can hook up a portal so customers can self-service themselves. Mobility, proactive customer service, revenue generation, social media interactions, better response times, controlling the message, and access points. So from a customer service perspective, their teams are under a lot of pressure, and you'd be surprised. In many enterprise type organizations, customer service teams have built their own systems, but they're totally disjoint from what's going on in marketing and what's going on in sales. Therefore, we have a really hard time of pulling this data together to understand what's really going on with our customer and our business partners. Another big growth area, and go out and talk to your field service management teams about mobility. Everybody's putting devices now in their field service teams, so we know where they are, we know what they're doing, we know their profitability. But there's a whole lot more that we can do from CRM to help them. We can help them with their dispatching, scheduling, invoicing. We can make your field service management team revenue generators by either having them sell something direct or being able to push a lead through to the sales team. Say, hey, I was on this site, I think we can get some extras. Hey, I was in to see this customer, you know they need some help with this. Stuff that we may have gotten to at one time but never did. I think now, because of the interaction, because of mobility, we can build enterprise strength CRM systems that reach out to the field service teams. Again, portal self-service is big on their end, response times, and again, hiring and training and managing people. CRM impacts these people, and if we can go talk to them, we can get them on our CRM bandwagon. IT management. Still, today, I'd probably say the vast majority of CRM projects are driven from IT. IT is managing dispersed databases, dispersed reporting systems and marketing systems. They're saying, enough's enough. Let's go buy some CRM licenses and let's build this thing out, right? So when you're talking to them, again, most of them evangelize, but most of them don't have any time to help us, right? So again, they like that whole cloud conversation. So if we can go and do a thing with CRM Online and say, hey, it's going to be much easier for you to deploy, we're going to get their buy-in. They're going to help, they'll help push this up the distribution chain in your company and help with the budgets. My favorite person, though, to become the evangelist, and sometimes you got to turn this person around because they may have had a bad, bad time or bad experience with CRM in the past. You really got to sit down with the sales management team and the senior sales management team and talk to them about where CRM can help them. This is probably the most powerful evangelist you'll have in your organization, right? If they go in and say, we got to make this work, I'm going to make my team do it, then they'll help absolutely evangelize and build the culture we need to do it. So when we're talking to sales management, we got to talk about how this is going to help you generate revenues and keep your profits. How? Because of your customers' changing buying process. This is a killer, right? Salespeople have all been told, or sales management, that we're changing out there. We're going to need less salespeople in the future. It's all going to be about marketing. I don't completely buy into that. I think we're still going to need sales professionals, but I think their role in the process is changing. So go in and start talking to them about the changing buying process of your customer, what they're doing online, what they're doing with self-serve, what they're doing with your partners, and how you can help them prepare for this. They'll love you for this. They'll become your best friend because they're trying to figure this out, and a lot of them just aren't exposed to technology enough to do it. How this can help improve the sales process, but allow them to measure and monitor it. A lot of them don't understand. They think, okay, I wanted to put the data in, but they don't want to put the data in. But what becomes important is what can you do with that data to help run their business, to navigate that business. Account and territory management, new business development, channel. What's going on with your channel partners? We're doing some very powerful things with partner portals in ADX Studio right now that can completely self-service and manage your partner network, right? Understand what they're working on, how they can interface with you, have a knowledge-based system for them. And right now, most organizations just aren't equipped to do this, or they kind of do it haphazardly outside of CRM, so they can gather information, but they can never consolidate it to make sense of it. That's what CRM can do for us. Again, CRM can help this person hire, train, and manage their people, measure competitive threats, monitor the competition, right? What's going on there? Manage compensation, right? There's add-ons to CRM that helps them to break down the compensation for every deal. Now, this type of work sometimes for sales management is hours and hours per month that could free them up. So there's a lot of benefits out there for that person when we come around to CRM. And one of the things that I talk to them about all the time is the value of selling time. This is a study done by Pace Productivity that shows typically a salesperson spends 23% of their time selling and 77% of their time supporting their sales process. All right? And a lot of this is due to sales processes being broken or not non-existent, or the technology's deployed but nobody's using it properly. So if you can sit down and start to evaluate this with your sales leadership and say, ladies and gentlemen, if we can improve that, then we can drastically improve your sales. So if I can move selling time up from 23 to 30% because they're doing a lot less admin, or they're doing less service, or they're doing a less order processing, then I can win back time and win it towards sales. So strictly from a numbers game, if I say every 1% of my selling time is worth $43,000, that's if I sell $1 million worth of product or services per year, then every percentage I can improve that, it goes up. So if I can move you from 23 to 40% of your time, that's up to 1.7. Those are astronomical numbers. And you may never get there, but what if you get a piece of that? So what I'm saying here is the way we talk about CRM to the different senior stakeholders in our organization is really going to help us win them over and help them to help us do the things they need to do to build the culture around, hey, we've got to deploy this, hey, we've got to use it, and hey, we've got to keep making it better. And those are the things that we want to do around building that culture. Again, customer management, why customers leave. A study that was done by Bell Phone Power. It was a while back, but it showed 68% of customers leave because of neglect. Is your team working with a database that's not complete? Do we have everybody that we sell to or influence our sales, or that's a prospect in our database? And are we touching them? Are we collecting that information of people coming to our website requesting information? Again, if they're not there, they're going to be neglected. So here's a little study that I put together to say, what's the value of neglect, or what's the value of your customer? So in this study, it says if a new customer buys from your business for 5 years and generates 25 orders per year, then 5 years times 25 orders at $500 value, it's $62,500. If we have a 30% gross margin on that, each customer is worth $18,750 over their lifetime. Start multiplying that out by 1,000, 5,000, and 10,000, and you can really see what the value is of your data and your database. So again, when I'm talking to the senior salespeople, senior sales management, this is what I'm kind of talking about. And again, I've got a lot of webinars and videos that you can look at of how we can use CRM to build what I call a repeatable sales process. And send us an email and I'll direct you to these videos. You could go in there and look, and it makes a lot of sense. But we could do this with all facets of the business, from marketing, from customer service, from sales, from field service. We can have just one repeatable customer care, customer interface process, all built on CRM. So anybody who's talking or interfacing with customers have the ability to measure what they're doing and improve it. So back to the point around building the culture of CRM. What do we need to do besides the user adoption and make sure the culture gets driven through? The number one thing, we got to get the right people involved early and get the leadership to drive the culture, right? So we got to make sure if marketing's doing this, the message got to come from senior marketing people. If sales, the messages have to come from the senior salesperson. Customer service, same sort of thing. So we got to make sure that we do things like when we have a conference, we talk about CRM. In fact, we're rolling out a project over the summer, and they're having their sales conference next week, and their senior leadership is going to be out there on the stage talking to their team about what's coming and the importance of that business. So they're being prepared. They're also, they have the ability to staff it, to put enough people in place to be able to support it and make it work. How do we build culture? We learn from our past. We learn, what's worked, what hasn't worked, and how are we going to do it better going forward. Number 3, assign ownership. Don't let CRM stay in the IT department for ownership. Make sure, those big 3 or 4 senior VPs within your organization are behind it and are willing to take the ownership of the project. If it stays in IT, it won't impact, for most part, it probably won't impact the business the way it should. So around CRM and deploy it, define it. Define what you want to do. Define how you want it to affect your customer, how you want it to affect your sales cycles, how you want it to be able to affect your channel partners. Define it for people, make sure they understand it, make sure you teach it. Every CRM project that I get involved with, we go through the design phase, we go through the build phase, then we go what I call a user adoption phase, where we stay engaged with those users for 3 to 6 months to make sure they're using it. And we watch their data, we watch how they use it, we watch, requests coming from them, and we make sure that if they're using it because they don't understand, we coach them, or if they're not using it because they don't want to use it, then we have to coach them in a different manner. But we make sure that we teach it and then we measure it. And then we live it ourselves, right? We make sure we use it every day and we make sure we become passionate and we reward people for it. So, I talked about CRM Gamified, rewarding the salespeople and customer service people on their usage. I think we have to reward the people on the back end that are evangelizing this on the usage within that company. Have fun. Make CRM sort of a fun thing. And I watch companies do this, that you get it, and they'll give the CRM project a fun name. They'll put out kind of a fun newsletter. They'll make sure that they talk about it in a positive light, in a positive method going forward. So they make it exciting, and they can continue to communicate. They let people know all the time how they're doing, how they're progressing, what's coming out next. It's a topic within all their sort of meetings and communications within the organization. So the ones that kind of embrace this and get it, they're the ones getting the $5.60 out of every dollar spent on CRM. The ones that don't are really they find CRM just a pain and another system they have to maintain. They really don't look at it like this is the center of our sort of customer interfacing technology. So and I talked a little bit about this and we've got a series of webinars starting in July with MS Dynamics World to talk about planning for success, and I hope you can join us for that. But we're going to take you right through a CRM project plan, where we're going to talk about how we do a business review, how we do process mapping and engage the stakeholders within that. And I learned this quite a long time ago is, if we design a CRM system and we give it to somebody, they have a lot of feedback, some of it not so positive. But if we engage the end user in what I call a process mapping to say, let's work with you to redesign, or I wouldn't use redesign, but to enhance the way you work by managing your processes better, and we want your feedback, then when we get to the deployment, we've got a team from that group saying, hey, we built this. We designed it. This is for us. Good on the ownership. We'll talk about system design and system build. In many organizations, this becomes the centerpiece, or where they start on the CRM, not the ones that I work with. It's always plan and design first. Then we go into build, but then we go into user adoption. So in user adoption, we go through a series of process trainings, we do user training, and we do admin training. And when I talk about user training, I talk about management. We train management how to use CRM and what they need to know about it. That becomes our user adoption program. And our user adoption program stretches out from a technical perspective to make sure that we're up to speed on the technology and what it can do. Systems management, that we keep it running tickety-boo, but also from the business. Let's keep talking to the business to see how they can improve the way they use CRM and keep CRM running. So all in all, we want to evangelize, we want to build the culture, and we want to keep people very excited about CRM. So I hope you can make it out to our planning sessions in July. If you want to get a hold of me, I'm Rick M. at Full Contact Selling, or you can link into me and I'll invite you into some of my groups and you'll stay on top of things. Or, I've got a lot of exciting stuff happening with Jason in MS Dynamics World, so hopefully we'll see you on another one of our webinars. So right now I have a few minutes left over. If we want to have any questions or comments, please feel free to type them into the comment box, and I'll send it back over to you, Jason.
All right, thank you. So just to the folks in the audience, I did post a link to those upcoming July events. That's the series is called Planning for CRM Success, and we really do hope to see you there. Starts on July 23rd. So I'm not seeing any questions in the queue yet. We can give folks another minute on that. Yeah, Rick, I mean, I know one thing I'm curious about for you, I know you're seeing a lot of momentum in, Microsoft's commitment to the CRM product and the CRM channel right now. I don't know, any specific, developments or trends that you're seeing that really have you, optimistic about how companies are doing with their implementations right now?
Well, we're seeing, like I said earlier, that it's not just a conversation we're having with people about, do I need CRM? It's what can I use CRM for? I think our user interface in the dynamic CRM world is getting better all the time. If you haven't looked at what's going to be part of 2015 in the new offering, there's a lot of videos out there. You can find them on YouTube. You'll see a lot of changes in the user interface that are making things much more user-friendly and much more powerful. Especially when we start using CRM more on phones and more on tablets. We're seeing a big increase in tablets. So, I'm sitting down more and more where the salespeople are all working with some sort of tablet with a keyboard now, not just a laptop computer. So that's got me excited because that means they're carrying their CRM around with them all day and probably punching that data into it. So I'm just generally excited about the CRM becoming mainstream and companies sort of really understanding the benefit of it.
All right, excellent. A couple of things that have come in here. One person writes that the biggest challenge they have is getting their sales reps to actually enter information, and noting that CRM will only be as good as the data. Something you hear frequently?
I hear it all the time. So I think, there's a few things you can do to work on that. I've seen companies pay them to put the data in, so it's part of their bonus, so they'll do that. Their opportunity management becomes the focus of what they do on an ongoing basis. Therefore, they need the data in there for the opportunities, the accounts. And it's really a top-down thing from management saying, you've got to put this data in because we need it to manage the business. There's other things we can do. If you're on-prem and you don't have Inside View, this is a great product. So Inside View comes now with CRM Online. So if you have it, you can start to use it right away. If you're on-prem, you have to go out and license it separately. But it just allows you to look up any company, download the company name, all the addresses, and it gives you a list of executives. You can go through, I want this one, this one, this one, download them into CRM. At the same time, you can say, I want to follow them on Twitter. I want to link into them through LinkedIn. So it's an interface for managing the data that can be all pushed into CRM. And, I did a Lunch and Learn series for the Canadian Professional Sales Association 2 years ago, and I was showing CRM and Inside View, and most of the reps said, I don't care about the CRM, I just want the Inside View, right? I need those people, and I need to know how to get a hold of them. So those two products now being combined, very, very powerful. So have a look at that.
So Rachel asks, in a situation where IT is pushing CRM and sales management is not interested, do you have suggestions for evangelism?
Absolutely. Some of the videos I do are really focused for sales managers. So I don't know if you contact me, I'll give you a link and you can look at the videos and have them look at them. But it's really about them wanting to improve their sales process and see this as a way of improving their sales process, and they'll get behind it. So, some of the stuff I talk about today, when you talk to that senior salesperson, talk about territory management, channel management, and all those things, that's what you got to get to. You got to get them to understand that this is more than data. This is a tool set that's going to help them be a better sales manager. And you'll see a very quick change in the sales organization once the nickel drops in that area. And if I can make a second suggestion on that, if you can get your sales management team to talk, especially through the user group community, to another group of sales managers who use it and love it, that makes a big difference. And they can, and we see a lot of that going on at within our user group community.
All right. Well, that is the end of our question queue for now. So we'll start wrapping up. We'll maybe just leave another few seconds here to see if anything else comes in. I'm just going to remind folks that we did record today's session. We'll be making it available on demand soon if you didn't catch the whole thing. And we'll be sending an alert out about that. So I don't see any other questions. So Rick, well, thanks for your time today, for sharing all these ideas and this insight with us.
Okay, Jason, thank you. It's always a pleasure.
All right, and it's great having everyone on the line with us today. Great questions. Thanks for your attention, and we hope to see you again soon on another webcast from msdynamicsworld.com. Take care.